Hey everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. So I was completely just randomly inspired. I have this random half an hour of free time today. It's Friday. And before Jackson's home, but he's downstairs being occupied, super perfect for me. And Barrett and Nora are at daycare. Sean's picking them up. So I've got this half an hour of chunk time that's just for me. I'm up in my room getting a few things filmed. And I have had, I'm sure you've noticed, but I have been working with having some white space to cover up the mess of my mat lately. And what it's been is this chipboard. And I went to flip it over to put it back because I was going to do something else today and realized I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little chipboard pieces on here. And that is it. So I was saying to myself, Christy, you can make a layout with these couple little pieces and then turn this into backing for, so I'll just cut it up so I can back it for, and replace the fun foam and get rid of this sheet and be done with that. So that is my plan. And I just quickly pulled this little sheet. I went into my scraps and I pulled that, and then I thought maybe some black because I see black in there. So I'm wondering what type of black I should use. That's the wrong shade of blue. That's, but I'm gonna pull in and create a layout because sometimes when you get inspired or you think to do something, I really, really highly recommend that you just do it. Sometimes it's good to write it down and come back to it and revisit it. And other times it's a really good idea for you to just do it. Get your scrap on and go from there. So I really like that piece. I think this is the wrong blue, so I'll have to put that away. But yeah, so I'm gonna quickly make a layout with these little pieces of ephemera. Or they're chipboard, they're not ephemera. And get that used up because that will be a nice thing to get, say I've finished, and just get one thing out of my room because that is definitely what I'm trying to do. So I'm not sure if I'll make this a process video or if I'll just come back and show you the whole layout. So stay tuned. And as you can see, I've turned this into a process video. So what I decided to do was I had this photo of Barrett. Now, obviously I didn't know he was a he at the time, but it was my very first ultrasound that I got with baby number 3. And I sent it to Daisy, who her husband is an ultrasound tech. Like he does all that stuff. And so we were trying to see if we could cheat and figure out what the sex of the baby was. And he wasn't positioned the correct way and it was a little too early for him to be able to see anything like that. But what he was able to do was kind of give me an idea of the blurriness of what I was seeing. And so he just simply wrote, head, butt, and heart. And I just thought it was so funny. And it was nice to kind of have a bit of an idea of what I was actually looking at. Because the first one, with gestational diabetes, you have it early just to check and make sure everything's okay and the size of the baby, because you have to have a couple extra ultrasounds than normal just to make sure that the baby isn't getting too big. So anyways, it was just kind of funny. And so that is what I'm going to go ahead and combine all these chipboard with to create this layout. And then I also decided, as I was creating this, I haven't done an off the board in a couple months. It's been a little while. It's just been so hectic. So I kind of was just scrolling through it the other Friday night, and I saw the actual chipboard because I was looking at how to create layouts with it. And then, of course, I saw the chipboard piece come up, and I'm like, why does it have to be a layout that has to be for off the board? It could just be seeing product to make you use it. And granted, of course, I'm using it because I had it on my desk, but I still saw it on Pinterest, so I'm making it count. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of combine this all together here. I also grabbed in a piece of this. This is a layout I had created a couple years ago. I didn't end up liking the way it turned out, so I took the photo away and created a new layout with the photo, but I've had this leftover piece, and this pattern paper, and I believe it's actually the same collection, was one of my favorites. So I'm adding it in little bits and pieces here. I'm using a cut file from the Creative Cuts Club. I do believe it was the September cut file, so I haven't gotten I think October through February. Not that I haven't gotten them, it's just Christina's saving them for me and she's going to send them all at once. So, which is good because I can use up what I have before I get the new ones sent to me. But it's just been too hectic, and so she's been saving them for me, which is awesome. So I can get them when I'm ready. But I'm using one of those up, which is really neat. I love being able to use them up. I'm keeping it very subtle, as you can see. It is, I'm not doing anything to the cut file. I'm leaving it alone. I will do one little thing, which you will see in just a minute. But other than that, I definitely am going to leave it alone. And then I just clustered the chipboard all like that. That's really going to be my only embellishment. Doesn't need much other than the fact that I do go into my How to Kill a Kit with Style. Now this is the Vicki Boone Kaleidoscope collection that I'm using for February, and I just pulled out the clouds from that collection, and I'm going to do a visual triangle for those. Really just a little pop of color there. The photo, because the writing is in teal, I kind of wanted to almost bring that color in a little bit. And my title just says thanks, because I thought it was really nice of him to go ahead and do that for me so I could have an idea of where the baby was. And Sean, when he was looking at it, also would know what he was looking at. Other than the fact we know it's a baby, but it kind of gives us an idea of where he's placed and everything. So that was really neat. And then I'll do my journaling, just talking about what I basically said to you. And then the only other thing I do, and I hem and hawed about it, but I'm really happy I did it in the end. It needed this little added touch, and that is to go ahead and take a black Sharpie pen and trace the triangles. Now I'm just doing the outer side of it, along with, so basically if you made the triangles rows, so you kind of see 5 rows of triangles there, that's the parts I traced. So not the inside of the triangle, but like the outline of each row of triangles. And it really helps it pop off the page, so you can see that it's a cut file. A lot of this, other than the chipboard, it's really flat. It didn't add a whole ton of dimension to this layout, so it helps add a little bit more to it. And then I will also finish it off by going ahead and taking my ruler and just creating a line with my ruler to make a nice border around everything to keep it all kind of encased, and I really love the way it turned out. So if you are in the middle of watching all of Off the Board, this is the series that Crystal created way back in last July. She did a video a day called Off the Board, and since then we have just been doing basically a video a layout a month, and it might have even been July before that, I can't remember. So yes, we have been enjoying playing along with it. We do it every month, the last Wednesday of the month. So there should be links to everyone that said they could join. If not, just search Off the Board on YouTube and you should be able to see what comes up. It's always really neat because everyone gets different inspiration from what they're looking at. So you'll see a look at my finished layout, and I hope you enjoyed this. I was really pleased to get that chipboard used up, so something I can add to my used up collection, which is really nice because of course that's my goal this year, is to use up as much as possible before we move, which is kind of what I mentioned in the beginning. So really, really pleased with this one. All right, everyone, thanks so much for watching, and here comes my finished layout. I will see you all really soon. Bye.